It's a smoky day in Saskatchewan due to forest fires, and Natural Resources Canada says climate change is expected to result in more fires. Ottawa has a plan to reduce emissions. Last week, it released its clean electricity regulations to reach net zero by 2035. Premier Scott Moe was quick to criticize them.
It's not achievable. It's unrealistic. Those are Sask Power's words, not mine. Our power utility can't actually achieve what the federal government sets us out to achieve, and it certainly isn't going to be affordable, as it will at least double the power rates in the province.
This economics professor disputes that. Brett Dolter estimates the price increase per kilowatt hour for residential power usage would be less than 1%.
So that's far from a doubling. It's not even 10% increase that we would see relative to operating the system without those regulations. So I'm not sure where that doubling number came from, but I don't think it's accurate.
Dolter says the federal regulations still allow for natural gas plants. New ones would need to be built with carbon capture and storage infrastructure, and others could run less frequently, used only as backup power when wind and solar aren't available.
Can we produce wind and solar for less than the cost of buying that gas from Alberta largely and burning it? And increasingly the answer is yes, as wind prices have come down, solar prices have come down.
Sask Power declined to be interviewed, but in a statement said the federal plan isn't feasible technically, logistically or financially. Some say it's their own doing.
Saskatchewan and Sask Power has dropped the ball in the last decade, and it's understandable that they are now in a difficult situation, but I don't think it's an impossible situation.
Sask Power also says the plan doesn't offer enough financial support.
In emissions from electricity.
This carbon price analyst says Ottawa is offering up tax credits and $40 billion.
Of that money, Saskatchewan will be getting the highest amount on a per gigawatt hour basis. There's $2.6 billion available to the province of Saskatchewan and Sask Power to cover some of the costs of this transition. And that's not a trivial amount of cash.
He says carbon emissions from electricity generation are still at 2005 levels, and the province needs to act. The Saskatchewan government has up to 75 days to comment on the draft regulations. Brett Dayal, CBC News, Saskatoon.